We all know that good balance isn't just about standing steady. It is the absolute key to preventing falls, which is one of the biggest injury risks we face as we get older. Now, usually when you hear leg exercises or deadlifts, you might picture heavy barbells clanging in a gym or bodybuilders lifting massive weights. But today I want to introduce you to a variation that is safe, accessible, and incredibly effective. It's called the supported single-leg RDL, or Romanian deadlift. Why do we call it supported? Here is the reality. When we try to do single-leg exercises, balance is often the biggest barrier. Many people try to train on one leg, but they spend most of their time just trying not to fall over rather than actually strengthening their muscles. As a result, well, your glutes and hamstrings don't get the stimulation they need to get stronger. The supported single-leg RDL solves this problem completely. By using a point of stability, like a wall, a squat rack, or a sturdy chair, we remove the fear of falling. This allows your brain and body to focus 100% on building strength in your posterior chain. That's your glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. These are the miracle muscles that help you climb stairs with ease, pick things up off the floor without back pain, and walk with confidence. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it, why it's safer than traditional exercises, and how to make it part of your daily routine right at home. Let's get started. Why single leg? Why not two? You might be asking, why do I have to train one leg at a time? Isn't two legs faster? On paper, yes, but your nervous system doesn't always play fair. There's a quiet little secret in sports science called the bilateral deficit. Here's what it means in real life. When both legs work together, your brain often turns down the volume on each side a bit. But when you train one leg at a time, the brain has no choice. It must recruit more control, more stability, and more muscle fibers on that single side. That's why single leg work can feel surprisingly challenging. Even with a lighter load, it's not weakness. It's your body learning to coordinate like a stronger, smarter system. And let's be honest, life is not a perfect two-leg squat. Life is a series of single-leg moments. Every step you take, every curb you climb, every time you catch yourself from a stumble, you're briefly balancing your whole body on one leg. If that one leg is weak or unstable, your body will borrow support from your lower back, your knees, or your hips. That's when pain starts to sneak in, slowly and quietly, until one day you notice you can't stand as long in the kitchen, or getting out of the car suddenly feels stiff and sharp. That's why training the supported single-leg RDL is so valuable, especially after 60. First, it helps fix imbalances. Most of us have a favorite leg. One side pushes harder, one hip is tighter, one ankle is less steady. Training separately lets the weaker side catch up, so your pelvis stays more level and your back doesn't have to compensate. Second, it strengthens your hip stabilizers. Even when holding onto a chair, standing on one leg forces the gluteus medius, your side glute, to fire like a safety belt for your knees and hips. When that muscle is strong, your knee tracks better, your hip feels more supported, and walking becomes smoother and more confident. And there's a final bonus many people don't expect. Single leg training sharpens your balance reflexes, the kind that can stop a fall before you even realize you're slipping. That's not exercise for exercise's sake. That's independence training. The power of being supported. The biggest issue with a traditional single-leg deadlift is the balance factor. If you are using 90% of your effort just to stay upright, you only have 10% left to actually build muscle. That's not a character flaw. It's simply physics and aging nerves doing what they do. And this is exactly why the supported version is superior for those over 60. When you place one hand on a rack, a wall, or even the back of a sturdy chair, you instantly give your nervous system a message. We are safe. The moment your brain feels safe, it stops wasting energy on panic balance, and it starts allowing clean, controlled strength. Think of support like training wheels, not because you are weak, but because we're trying to train the right muscles, not train your fear of falling. This stability lets you finally feel what matters, the hamstring stretching as you hinge back, and then contracting as you stand tall again. That mind-muscle connection is gold, especially for preventing the common back-dominant pattern where the lower back does all the work and the hamstrings stay asleep. Supported training also helps you keep your hips square, your spine long, and your movement smooth. Three things that protect your back and your knees at the same time. Now here's the part many people miss. Support doesn't make the exercise easier. It makes it more effective. Because you're stable, you can safely use a slightly heavier dumbbell, or move more slowly, or pause for 1 second at the bottom. Those are the exact ingredients that stimulate muscle growth and bone density without increasing risk. And yes, after 60, that matters. Strong hamstrings support the knee, strong glutes support the hip, and then stronger bones mean fewer fractures if you ever do slip. If your balance is great, wonderful, you can reduce the support over time. But if balance is not great today, support is not cheating. It's the smartest way to build strength while keeping your body confident and safe. Step-by-step technique. The kickstand, B stance. This is the variation I recommend most for beginners, especially if you're over 60 and you want strength without fighting your balance. We call it the kickstand RDL or B stance. It looks simple, but done correctly, it's one of the safest ways to wake up your hamstrings, protect your hips, and take stress off the knees. First, set your feet. One foot is the worker, the other is the helper. Visual, close-up of the feet, one foot flat, and watch the other on the toes behind the heel. Stand hip width. Choose your working leg. Let's say the left leg. Now slide your right foot back just a few inches so your right toes are roughly in line with your left heel. This is not a lunge. Small step. Next, create the kickstand. Lift your right heel so you're lightly on the toes. Think of a bicycle kickstand. It steadies you, but it's not carrying the load. You want about 80 to 90% of your weight on the front left leg. A quick check. You should be able to lightly wiggle the back toes. Now add support. Place your left hand, same side as the working leg, on a sturdy chair, wall, or rack. Hold a dumbbell, kettlebell, or water bottle in your right hand. Keep the weight close to your body, no swinging. Here's the key move, the hip hinge. And imagine you're trying to close a car door with your butt. Push your hips straight back. Your chest tips forward as one solid unit. Keep your back long and flat, neck relaxed, eyes looking a few feet ahead on the floor. Keep a soft knee on the standing leg, slightly bent, never locked, and don't squat down. You should feel a clean stretch in the hamstring of the left leg. To return, press your left foot into the floor, squeeze your glute, and stand tall. Smooth and controlled, no pulling with the lower back. Reset your posture, breathe, and repeat. Common mistakes to avoid. Especially over 60, our number one goal is to build strength without borrowing stress from the lower back. The supported single-leg RDL is incredibly safe when it's clean, but the wrong form can turn it into a back exercise in the worst way. So I want you to watch for these three errors. Mistake number one is opening the hips. The moment you kick that back leg behind you, many people accidentally rotate their pelvis toward the ceiling. It feels natural, but it steals the work from the hamstring and glute and twists the low back. Here's the image I use with my patients. Imagine you have headlights on your hips. Keep those headlights pointing straight down at the floor the entire time. If you need less range of motion to keep the hips square, that's not a failure. That's smart training. Mistake number two is rounding the back. This usually happens because you're chasing the floor with the weight. And the goal is to touch your toes. That is not the goal. The goal is to hinge at the hips while the spine stays long and quiet. Only go as low as your flexibility allows while keeping your back flat. If you notice your shoulders collapsing forward, your ribs dropping, or your neck craning, you've gone too far. Reduce the depth, slow down, and think chest proud, tailbone back. Mistake number three is locking the knee on the standing leg. A locked knee turns the joint into a hard stop, and your hamstring can't load properly. Keep the knee soft, about 15 to 20 degrees of bend. Not a squat, just a cushion. That slight bend protects the joint and forces the muscles to do the work they were designed to do. And here's my final doctor tip. If you feel it mainly in your lower back, it's your body waving a red flag. Shorten the range. I add more support and regain control. Specific health benefits for over 60s. We've talked technique, but let's bring this back to the real question. What does this actually do for your health after 60? Because at this age, we're not training for a trophy. We're training for independence. The supported single-leg RDL is one of those rare exercises that pays you back in multiple systems at the same time: bones, joints, balance, and daily function. First, osteoporosis prevention. Bone is living tissue, and it responds to stress the way muscles do. When you load one leg at a time, especially while holding even a modest weight, you create focused mechanical pressure through the hip and thigh. Either that's the signal your body needs to maintain or build bone density in the exact areas where older adults are most vulnerable: the hips and femurs. It's not magic. It's biology responding to a clear message. We still need strong bones. Second, reduce low back pain. Many back flare-ups don't start with the back. They start with poor movement patterns. People bend at the waist, round the spine, and let the back do the lifting while the hips stay asleep. This exercise teaches the opposite. Hinge at the hips, keep the spine long, and let the glutes and hamstrings do their job. Strong glutes act like shock absorbers for the spine. Over time, you're training your body to pick up groceries, laundry, or a grandchild with less strain and more control. Third, improved gait and walking confidence. A lot of aging posture is really weakness plus fear. When glutes and hamstrings are stronger, your stride naturally becomes longer and smoother. You push off the ground better, your hips stay steadier, and that shuffling pattern starts to fade. And here's the hidden benefit. Because it's single leg based, it quietly improves balance reactions. So you're not just walking farther, you're walking with less hesitation. Today we covered the supported single leg RDL, and I want you to remember this. It's not just another exercise, it's an investment in your future independence. This one movement strengthens your hips and hamstrings, protects your lower back, and improves balance, without forcing you to gamble with stability. That support from a chair, wall, or rack isn't cheating, it's smart medicine. Here's how to start safely. Begin light. In your first week, use the kickstand, B stance, and practice with body weight only, one hand on a chair. Focus on a clean hip hinge and a flat back. Then build a simple routine. Aim for 2 to 3 sessions per week and do 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per leg. Slow and controlled beats fast and sloppy every time. Most important, listen to your body. A stretch in the back of the thigh is a good sign. Sharp pain in the back, hip, or knee is a signal to stop, shorten the range, and check your form. Don't let age define your limits. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, you can become stronger and steadier, starting today. If this video helped you, please hit like, share it with a friend or family member, and subscribe so you don't miss our next lessons for safe senior fitness. And I really want to hear from you. Comment below. Tell me your age and which side feels weaker, left or right. Next video, we'll cover the best knee-safe step-up variation for stronger legs and better balance after 60. Stay strong, stay steady, and I'll see you there.